Fair use. Daily Reflections. This is a book of reflections by AA members for AA members. November 24th. A Universal Search. Be quick to see where religious people are right. Make use of what they offer. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 87. I do not claim to have all the answers in spiritual matters, any more than I claim to have all the answers about alcoholism. There are others who are also engaged in a spiritual search. If I keep an open mind about what others have to say, I have much to gain. My sobriety is greatly enriched, and my practice of the 11th step more fruitful when I use both the literature and practices of my Judeo-Christian tradition and the resources of other religions. Thus, I receive support from many sources in staying away from the first drink. Courage to Change, One Day at a Time in Al-Anon. November 24th. I am forever looking at friends and strangers and making little improvements. She'd look much more attractive if only, or he would be a lot easier to deal with if only. Step 10 is my daily reminder to let go of such thoughts. It reminds me to continue to take my own inventory and to promptly admit when I am wrong. Every day I can look to myself and decide what improvement I can make. How can I grow today? What can I do by day's end to improve myself? Is there something I can learn? Is there some challenge I can meet? Is there some old, tired fear I can walk through and be rid of? Is there some new happiness I can experience? Step 10 reminds me to be honest with myself, acknowledging my progress, admitting my mistakes, and recognizing opportunities to grow today. Today's reminder: when I keep track of my inventory on a daily basis, I no longer have to fear that I will fall into that vague, hazy state in which denial so easily takes root. When I turn this inventory over to my higher power, I know that I am moving toward freedom. There is a quote from Alexander Pope, and it reads, "A man should never be ashamed to own he has been in the wrong," which is but saying, in other words, that he is wiser today than he was yesterday. Just for today, Daily Meditations for Recovering Addicts, November 24th. Gratefully Recovering. We entertained the thought that staying clean was not paying off, and the old thinking stirred up self-pity, resentment, and anger. Basic text, page 102. There are days when some of us wallow in self-pity. It's easy to do. We may have expectations about how our lives should be in recovery, expectations that aren't always met. Maybe we've tried unsuccessfully to control someone, or we think our circumstances should be different. Perhaps we've compared ourselves with other recovering addicts and found ourselves lacking. The more we try to make our life conform to our expectations, the more uncomfortable we feel. Self-pity can arise from living in our expectations instead of in the world as it actually is. When the world doesn't measure up to our expectations, it's often our expectations that need adjusting, not the world. We can start by comparing our lives today with the way we used to be, developing gratitude for our recovery. We can extend this exercise in gratitude by counting the good things in our lives, becoming thankful that the world does not conform to our expectations, but exceeds them. And if we continue working the 12 steps, further cultivating gratitude and acceptance, what we can expect in the future is more growth, more happiness, and more peace of mind. We've been given much in recovery. Staying clean has paid off. Acceptance of our lives just for today frees us from our self-pity. Just for today, I will accept my life gratefully just as it is. Today, Emotions Anonymous, November 24th. Reflection for today. Acceptance is hard to comprehend. I thought if I accepted something, that meant I liked it and I wanted it to stay. But this is not what acceptance is. Acceptance means being honest about what is happening in my life, what I am thinking and what I am feeling. When I can stop denying and rebelling against myself, I can relax and let go of the control. When I stop trying to control, as the first step suggests, I am open to the learning and healing which are waiting for me. Meditation for today. When I begin to reject myself, help me to stop, for I am okay just as I am. Today I will remember, knowing that acceptance opens me to healing and learning, I will accept whatever I see in myself today. Strengthening my recovery. Meditations for adult children of alcoholics, dysfunctional families. November 24th. Abuse. Before finding ACA, many of us believed we deserved what we got or caused the abuse to happen. BRB page 28. An ACA bottom may take various forms. We say to ourselves, I can't stand being alone with myself, or I hate myself. But if we analyze just these two statements, we can see they seem to speak of I and self as if they were two separate entities, and perhaps they are. The I is our essence, the soul that was placed in our human body. The self in those negative feelings is only the person we think we are, the one who carries the past, is anxious about the present, and dreads the future. This false self is the creation of others, people's words and deeds that caused us to hide our true self. This hiding takes many forms, from physically isolating to being emotionally unavailable to ourselves and others. And when it becomes too toxic, we begin to seek help in order to find a new way of living. In ACA, we begin to question why we allow our false self to have so much control. We learn that the steps are the pathway that helps us merge our I with our true self, while shedding the old self we created in our childhood. ACA brings us the knowledge that we are all gifted human beings who did not deserve what we got as children. We gradually begin to realize that we are more than good enough. The affirmation reads, "On this day, I will recognize when my abusive, false self is in control. This will then awaken my true self so I can celebrate the wonderful creation that I am." Please share, like, subscribe, and remember that you are not alone. One day at a time.